Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to many of us. Welcome to CEO Talk, a series conducted by CXOTV, where a CEO narrate a story and share the learning and success of building a great brand. So today our guest is Ranu Vohra, the co-founder and the executive vice chairman of Avendus Capital. Ranu happens to be the president for TiE Mumbai chapter. Welcome, Ranu. It's our honor and pleasure to have you as the guest on our CEO Talk series. So, Ranu, entrepreneurship is a marathon, and for the past 23 years, what I know is Avendus has been running this marathon, helping countless entrepreneurs, chart their growth journey. Raising capital, executing M&A, restructuring their business to achieve success. How does it feel, to know that to be known in the market for some of the incredible work you have done in these 23 years? Let me know, what are the ingredients required to build a great financial service organization with such a diverse portfolio, which starts from investment banking to wealth management to credit solution, ACES management, and so on and so forth.
First of all, thank you, Anuj, for inviting me to this talk. I think, as you mentioned, the last 24 years have been very eventful. We have built in our minds a platform which we can which is now poised for growth. As you described it, like a marathon, it is indeed a marathon. And I'm into long distance running, and often our coach will tell us that in a 42-kilometer marathon, the marathon starts at kilometer number 35. So the first 34 kilometers are warm up, and 35th kilometer onwards is the real marathon. And I think we have a long way to go. We have built the foundations of the business. It has been actually incredibly delightful to be with some high-quality entrepreneurs, having worked with some of the most kind of important, meaningful transactions which these entrepreneurs have aspired to do in their lifetimes, and being a part of the financial ecosystem. Now, creating a financial services company requires several ingredients. There's no one ingredient, but it is a business ultimately for a lot of purposes around trust and integrity. It is about how much you can come up to what you promised, how have you delivered with respect to the promise, and that's what is important. The idea is not to give an entrepreneur always the most rosy picture. The idea is to tell them what the pitfalls might be, what might happen while they're running. And a lot of these entrepreneurs are running alongside us. Few of them start too fast and then slow down. Others start slow so every entrepreneur has his or her own pace. The idea is that they have to build their business in a strong, robust manner. And that is actually the theme for TiE as well this year. The TiECon, which we are doing in Mumbai on June 2nd, is all around how do startups become more anti-fragile and more robust. And the definition of anti-fragile, as you know, is something which gets stronger with disruption. And nothing better than the examples which we have seen in our in the last 2 decades, and Avendus being one such example of just trying to withstand the disruptions which come our way and emerging stronger after that.
Thanks, Ranu. You talk about the disruption, so I can see a lot of disruption has happened over these last 2 decades, and I'm sure at Avendus you have been witnessing a lot of them. I can see a lot of your fascination or inclination towards the tech space. Can you just throw a little bit of light around that? Was it a conscious call, or was it like since you are an ITN, so is it because of that, or what?
I think we have entered into sectors ahead of time. We would like to we keep our eyes and ears open for the trends which not just hit our market but global markets as well. Tech for us was never an afterthought. It was not something which we went into just because there was momentum in tech. Actually, if you look at IT services, you look at outsourcing, you look at digital in its various, as it manifests itself, Avendus was the first to go in there, establish high quality research, thought pieces. On the back of that, associate with entrepreneurs who had that vision of making their company leaders, and then helping these entrepreneurs build their dreams and vision. Tech is an important part of India, of our ethos, of what might take us today, from today to a $5 trillion economy, $10 trillion economy. Tech has a very important role to play. It also helps us sidestep some of the things, some of the issues which have bogged down even the Western world, for that matter. So it helps us sidestep that. It helps us create business models which are scalable, and most importantly for India, relevant solutions for the bottom of the pyramid and not just the top 10% of the population. So tech and tech, as it enables consumer, as it enables agri, as it enables defense, as it enables payments. So tech manifests itself in several forms, and it's a large enough industry. But I would say the whole entrepreneurial revolution in India is more to do with India's growth overall, not just with tech and consumer. I just want to differentiate the two. For instance, in manufacturing, we are seeing an upsurge, and that is driven in quite a few ways by the trend of creating an alternative to China.
Absolutely. You talk about alternative to China. This means like we all know like India is becoming +1 to China, and even the hit ratio, if we look at of our unicorns, have been there, and so probably I'll just put up that question at the later parts of our discussion. How would you be able to help entrepreneurs achieve their goal, and what has been the most rewarding experience in doing so?
I think I can kind of say that purely. Let me first tackle the question from a TiE perspective, and I think TiE has, for a lot of reasons, been the crucible where Indian entrepreneurship has come together. I think we at Avendus have to thank TiE for the role TiE played in our initial evolution and helping us get started from the ground. There were 3 of us, and we were just going helter-skelter, trying to look for funding, trying to hustle, trying to do things which most entrepreneurs do. And TiE came in very handy at that point of time. We got our first few investors through some of the events of TiE which we attended. So I would say, the way I would help, or I would like to see this ecosystem helping entrepreneurs, is by way of mentorship, by way of collaboration and learning, which they can take not just from other fellow entrepreneurs, but across the different aspects of industry. So for instance, if it's, artificial intelligence, or if it is drone technology, there is always that initial, seed of entrepreneurs who come together to create something, and they act as the playbook for a lot of other entrepreneurs who will come in the same category, and so on. So I think what we are trying to do is we are trying to build that base, that connector, that glue, which can help these entrepreneurs, and put them in better shape for them to realize their vision. There are a lot of things you need to build a large scalable business. Mentorship is just one of them. You have to know how to raise finances. You have to do fundraising, and on top of fundraising, you have to hire good people. If you don't hire smart people who are equal or better than you are, then you tend to kind of, bring down the ship rather than lift up the ship. So I think in quite a few ways, TiE acts as that melting pot where most of these companies and entrepreneurs can come together and derive their learnings and learn from fellow entrepreneurs and their experiences. TiE, as opposed to quite a few other platforms, is a global body. It's a global not-for-profit. So you can draw on not just the wisdom of the chapter entrepreneurs, but also of the experience of entrepreneurs who are from other chapters, whether it is other chapters in India or other chapters in US, in Middle East, and so on.
Absolutely agree with you. So, amongst the ongoing funding winter, the investor sentiment is divided. According to you, which sector are the investors most bullish about?
I would say that technology, as I mentioned, is a very broad theme. So within that, I would say the fintech area and the area around building newer kind of capabilities and newer businesses in areas like agri-tech, B2B marketplaces are areas which are reasonably good growth areas for investors to look at and back. We have in the past kind of put out research pieces from Avendus accordingly to that effect. I think what we are looking at is investors today have a broad range of organizations. It's a very deep market in technology today in India. So they can look at companies right from the late stage, unicorns or companies which have been unicorns for quite some time, where they can put in significant amount of late stage capital, to early stages where you can do venture capital, you can do other interesting things with that. So I would say that the investor today is spoiled for choices. On the top of it, what is happening, as you might be aware, is that valuations have rationalized, and these businesses are becoming healthier and stronger by way of working on their unit economics and getting to a clear line of profitability and EBITDA. It's not that all were loss making. There is a misconception that you associate with tech and digital, and most companies are, but companies are by some yardsticks, as many as 33 to 40% of the unicorns in India were positive in terms of EBITDA. So clearly there are companies which are doing well. They have to be made stronger by way of more capital. And what the investors can come in and do in some of these new sectors and these stronger companies is to help them take them to the next level.
Okay. And so what are the financial institute adapting their business model to stay competitive in the era of digital transformation? Have there been any significant change in the way services are being delivered or operations are conducted?
I think across the board, if there were today any CEO who's not taking advantage of digital transformation, I would say that CEO might be the wrong CEO for the business. I think digital transformation is a given. In fact, I would say that capital allocation decisions to a good measure should involve perspective on what the strengths of the organization are and how you can use digital to your advantage. Now, different companies have done in different measures. I think financial services as an industry, whether you look at a very simple level, retail broking, to what Zerodha has been able to do and transform the industry. There are other pieces as well, whether it comes to lending, where entrepreneurs have used lending platforms to be able to run wider analytics to improve their credit mechanisms. Some cases do liability management and also acquire clients. So I would say there has been a broad use of digital transformation by companies, and you asked about financial services companies. I think there has been a huge amount of effort which has gone on insurance and availability of insurance as a product. There are companies which are utilizing the government's digital infrastructure to create payment solutions. So I would say there are companies which have provided different facets of use of digital transformation, and most of the capital which has gone into these companies has gone in towards that effort. It's obviously it's some cases to build their balance sheets, but also to make their businesses more robust from a technology perspective.
So with this, we come to the end of the episode. Thank you so very much, Ranu, for such an insightful session, and we really had a pleasure interacting with you.
Anuj, real pleasure talking to you as well. Thank you.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.